My name's Marcus, and I've been doing food delivery for various apps for about 5 years. You learn pretty quick which areas to avoid, which restaurants are slow, which customers tip well. But you never really learn to predict when something's going to go seriously wrong. This happened about 8 months ago, on a Thursday night in early spring. It was one of those nights where it's not quite warm yet, and a thick fog had rolled in, making it hard to see more than 20 feet ahead. The order was pretty simple: fast food from a 24-hour burger joint, going out to a farm about 15 miles outside town. The GPS showed it would take about 25 minutes each way, but the tip was worth it, $30 on a $40 order. The customer's name was listed as just Tom, and in the delivery notes, it said, "Long driveway, white farmhouse at the end. If you get lost, call." I picked up the food and started driving. The first 10 miles were fine. Regular roads I'd driven plenty of times. But then the GPS directed me onto a side road I'd never noticed before. It was barely paved, more like compressed dirt with patches of old asphalt. The fog was getting thicker as I drove, and my headlights could barely penetrate it. The GPS kept saying, "Continue straight," for what felt like forever. No other cars, no houses, just fields on both sides disappearing into the fog. Finally, I saw a rusty mailbox with T. Morrison painted on the side. The driveway was exactly where the GPS said it would be, a narrow dirt road leading off into the darkness. I turned in and started driving slowly, my car bouncing over potholes and ruts. The driveway went on for almost half a mile. Just when I was starting to think I'd taken a wrong turn, I saw lights up ahead. As I got closer, I could make out a white farmhouse, just like the note said. But something was wrong with the scene. There were too many cars. At least 8 or 9 vehicles were parked haphazardly around the house. Trucks, cars, even what looked like an old police cruiser. All of them looked abandoned, covered in dirt and leaves like they'd been there for months. I parked behind a pickup truck and grabbed the food. As I walked toward the house, I noticed all the curtains were drawn, but I could see light flickering inside. Not electric light, but something more like candles or a fireplace. I knocked on the door and waited. Nothing. I knocked again, louder this time. "Delivery," I called out. The door opened just a crack, and a man's face appeared. He looked to be in his 50s, with gray stubble and hollow cheeks. His eyes darted nervously past me to my car. "You're alone?" he asked. "Yeah, just me," I said, holding up the bag. "I've got your order." He opened the door wider and practically pulled me inside. Good. Come in, quickly." The inside of the house was dimly lit by dozens of candles placed on every surface. The air was thick with some kind of incense that made my eyes water. In the living room, I could see several people sitting in a circle on the floor, all wearing dark clothing. They all turned to look at me when I entered. "Is this some kind of party?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Tom laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Something like that. Just put the food on the table." As I set the bag down, I noticed something that made my stomach drop. On the wall behind the group was a large map of the area, with red X's marked all over it. Each X had a date written next to it, and at the bottom of the map, there was a list of names. My blood went cold when I recognized some of them. They were all delivery drivers who had gone missing over the past year. Drivers I'd heard about through the grapevine, who had simply vanished during their shifts. "You know," Tom said from behind me, "we've been waiting for someone like you." I turned around slowly. The people in the circle had all stood up, and they were moving to block the path to the door. "Someone young, healthy, driving alone at night," Tom continued. "The others were good, but we think you'll be better." I didn't wait to hear what they wanted me for. I grabbed the nearest candle and threw it at the curtains. They went up in flames instantly. They must have been soaked in something flammable. The room erupted in chaos as people scrambled to put out the fire. I ran for the door, shoving past 2 people who tried to grab me. Someone's hands caught my jacket, but I twisted out of it and kept running. I could hear them shouting behind me as I sprinted to my car. My hands were shaking so bad I dropped my keys twice before getting the door open. As I started the engine, I saw them pouring out of the house. Tom was in the lead, and in the light from the burning curtains, I could see he was holding something. It looked like a hunting rifle. I threw the car in reverse and floored it, spinning the wheel to turn around. I heard a loud crack and my rear window exploded. They were shooting at me. I ducked down as low as I could while still driving and sped down the driveway. In my rearview mirror, I could see headlights. They were following me. I pushed my car as fast as it would go on that dirt road, taking the turn so hard I nearly went into the ditch several times. When I finally hit the main road, I didn't slow down. I drove straight to the police station and ran inside, probably looking like a madman. I told them everything: the house, the map, the names, the people chasing me. The police sent units out to the farm that night. When they got there, they found the house empty. No people, no cars except for 2 old rusted trucks that hadn't run in years. No map, no list of names. The only sign that anything had happened was some fire damage to one room, which they said could have been from anything. They didn't believe me. They said I probably went to the wrong house, got spooked, and imagined the rest. But I know what I saw. And I know that Tom and his group are still out there, waiting for the next driver to come down that long, dark driveway. I quit delivering the next day. I work in a warehouse now, steady hours, no driving, no late nights. Sometimes I see stories about missing delivery drivers in nearby towns, and I wonder if they found their way to that farmhouse. I wonder if they made it out. I kept the delivery bag from that night. It's still in my closet, with Tom's receipt inside. Sometimes I look at the address and think about going back with the police, proving I was telling the truth. But then I remember those headlights chasing me through the fog, and I know I'll never go near that place again. Those are 3 stories from delivery drivers who encountered something they'll never forget. Each one of them still carries the weight of what happened, still checks their mirrors a little more often, still feels their heart race when they pass certain places at night. The thing about delivering food is that you're going to strangers' homes, often alone, often in the dark. You're trusting that the person on the other end of that order is just hungry, just wanting their meal. But sometimes, they want something else entirely. Which story scared you the most? Comment below and subscribe for more true horror stories.